Hello everyone and welcome to Hotword Networking. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a daisy chain topology using Ubuntu machines. Now, I'm going to configure three Ubuntu machines as you can see here. The first machine known as the gateway, second machine known as the node, and the third machine node 2. Now, I'm going to configure this gateway to be able to connect to the internet. And this gateway acts as a router. So for these other machines to connect to the internet, that is node 1 is able to get internet through the gateway, and node 2 is able to get internet through node 1 that's connected to the gateway. Now this is called a daisy chain topology. Now I'm going to show you how to do this using the Ubuntu machines. First of all, we're going to be using a link or web page. This is where the commands are, but I'll basically put the commands in the description below so you can just copy paste it. And I'll also explain the commands because I've already done this here on my machines. Where is the gateway that we'll be using? Node 1 and node 2. As you can see here, it says node 1 on the prompt, but it is node 2. It is like this because I cloned it. So these are the three machines that we'll be using. And in here, the commands will be running. And the reason why I went with command line is because this whole exercise is based on the command line. And so you can also do this in the GUI interface on Ubuntu. And so that's why I went with the command lines because it also saves resources. So it's easy. So to start, I'm going to show you the IP for this machine. So this machine has two network adapters. First one is the NAT connected to the internet, and the other one is the internal adapter, which you can see as 192.168.99.2. And the NAT is 10.0.2.15 as connected to the internet. So let's try to see if it's actually connected to the internet. Oh yeah, it is good. So yeah, this is good. So now we can proceed, and this is what you do on the gateway. You first of all copy the system configurations file. You don't need to do this. The reason why this is here is because in case there's a mistake or something like that. But if you know what you're doing, you don't really need to do this. So you can copy if you want. I've already done this, so but I'll run the command again just to show you. And I will put this command in the description below, so it's easier for you. So what does this command do? This command basically tells the you're copying the main configurations file into another conf just for that. And for in case there's a mistake. And after you do that, you can just go into the file with anything you're familiar with, sudo or vim or nano. I'll go with vim. So you just edit the file that you just copied. As you can see. So, and right there where you see the cursor, right here where you see the cursor, all you have to do is go and uncomment this. As you can see, once you uncomment it, save it with whichever one you're familiar with. And I'm gonna to check if this actually works. You just run grep command to see if it works. Now, what did you do here? What you did here is you enabled packet forwarding because you need packet forwarding. Like you see, you're doing a daisy chain topology where this gateway forwards packets. So it acts as a router for the node 1 and the node 2. So that they can be able to reach the internet. So what you're doing here is enabling packets forwarding. And as you can see there, you get the response. Getting this means that packets forwarding is enabled. And after you do that, you create a firewall rule. You enable the packet masquerading on the gateway. And in order to do that, you create a firewall rule. And this you can start, so you can actually become sudo to do this if you want to. So I recommend becoming sudo because it's safer and it's good. So sudo nft flush rule set. So this flush your current rule set. Like I said, I've done this before. So this flushes your current rule set. So go ahead and press enter if you want to do that. And after doing that, you create a new firewall, a new firewall table called NAT. This handles all the NAT trafficking that you're going to do. Sudo, sorry about that, sudo nft, don't forget that, sudo nft add table IP NAT. That adds the IP table. Don't forget to press enter. Like I said, I have done that before. Sudo, sudo. Sorry about that. So what you did here is you created a chain in the table that you previously created, because in here you flush the rule sets, you flush the rule set, that means the zero rule sets, and you went ahead to add a new table called nats, and in that table you created a new chain that handles all the nat trafficking. And after that, you're going to create a rule, a masquerading rule. What does this rule do? This rule makes sure that every single packet leaving the gateway is masqueraded with the IP address of the gateway. So that means every single machine connected to the gateway should be able to reach the gateway through its IP address, and they should be able to reach the internet through this IP address of the gateway. So that is why you do the packet masquerading, which is very important. So we go back to the gateway to enable packet masquerading. So don't forget to click enter for that rule, because I have done this before. So NFT and enter. That creates the rule. And after doing all of this, you can just go ahead and I forgot to write so I'll forget that. You can just go and cat/etc. But let's go ahead and finish the commands. So NFT list rule sets, append it to the current firewall configuration file. And the firewall configuration file here, in this command, it uses .ruleset, but for me, I use another one called .conf. So sudo nft. If you're root, you don't have to use sudo. Like I said, you can do this as root if you want to. Save the sudo list rule set. You append. So what you're doing is you're appending all this recent configurations to the firewall that you do. You're appending this to the current configuration files for the firewalls. And for me, mine is .conf. So you can check yours if you want to. Yours can be the rule set, but I think this command created a new firewall file called the rule set, because the basic default is .conf. So I recommend you use .conf, and after that you should add .conf, and just like that, the output should be something like this. As you can see here, that's exactly my output. So this shows that you have your firewall configured. Again, don't forget, I'll have this command copied down in the description for you guys to make it easy. And after you've done this, there's still one more thing you're meant to do. You need to create a bash script that runs each time the interface goes to a route table state. And this is it. The commands to do it right here on Ubuntu. You create a file, touch. Let's go ahead and create a file. So you just create this file. This is the file that's going to run every single time. In this file, you're going to create a script in it. Put a script in it that runs every single time the interface goes to a routable interface, of which we just configured. We configured the interface. So let's go to routable interface. So this script will run every single time. And after creating it, touch, you should hit enter because I already have this. So I don't want to go ahead and create it again. So you should hit enter. After touching it, just go up again, like along the up arrow, go up arrow again to bring back the command. Just clean this up. chmod a. So you're giving it an executable permission to execute to be able to execute this script. You give it a executable permission to execute that. So that's what we just did. And after that, hit enter and up arrow again to bring back the recent command. I'm doing this because I don't want to go ahead and write the file again. It's just a long file. After doing that, you should cut. Once you cut, it should be empty, of course, because you just created an empty file and there's nothing in it. So it should be empty. And if I cut mine, you should see something like this. So this is what you should have. After doing this, you should just sudo the file. Yeah, like again, go to up arrow. So anyone you're comfortable with sudo nano or sudo vim, I'm comfortable with vim. So sudo vim into the file and write this inside the file. And for the last place where you see the cursor, you don't really need that. So you can just stop at exit 0 and save it, and that's all. So after that, you should have everything done on the gateway. See that? It's easy. You should have everything done and configured on the gateway. You can restart the gateway to make sure everything is fine, which is great. After that, you've done a restart. Let's go ahead and do a restart here. Okay. So we should wait for it to come up. And while it's coming up, we can go ahead to configure the other nodes. Yeah. So on a node, verify internet access, you can even do that, but we haven't done anything yet. So we're gonna go back and see what we're gonna do on the node. So that, as you know, the IP address for this guy is 192.168.99.2 and node 1. It's the IP for node 1. And as you can see, node 1 only has one internet adapter, which is internal, and that is 99.3. The gateway is 99.2. They're all in the same network, 192.168.99. So this is 99.3. So we're going to see what to do here in order to make the gateway, in order to make this guy to be able to connect to the gateway and have internet access. So like I said, I have done this. So maybe if I try to ping now, it will work. So I'm not going to go ahead and ping. So, but what you shouldn't be able to ping. Why? Because you have an internal adapter. You have an internal adapter. You can get here to see here. Here is my gateway with two internet adapters, NAT and internal network internet one. Same here with node one, has internal network internet one, and node two, same thing. They don't have NAT. So these two nodes shouldn't be able to reach the internet. So what do you do in order to make them reach the internet? Like we say, this is a daisy chain topology. They should be able to get the internet directly from the router. And what acts as our router in this case? The gateway. So we go ahead here, and what we do on Ubuntu, you edit the system configurations file. That means the DNS configuration file on the Ubuntu. So whichever one you want, nano or vim, go with vim. So yeah, as you can see here, the commands are here. Go into the conf file and put a fallback DNS to 1.1, 8.8, and 9.9. This is actually Google's fallback DNS. And the reason why you're doing this is to put a fallback DNS in case the DNS doesn't work. And the DNS for this one is obviously going to be our gateway. So just leave this here, do that, and you're done. Save it. Don't forget to save. Whichever one you're comfortable with, none of them. So save. After saving that, the next thing we should do is the next thing, yeah, go to the host. Sudo name slash etc host files and add a file, another line here that points to the gateway. And what is the IP address of the gateway? The IP address of the where's the okay. And this is the IP address of the gateway. So just put the IP address of the gateway there. Dash gateway, space gateway, and after that you just save it. And you should also reboot, but I think I'm going to do that here. It takes a while for this to come up. And after this node should be able to ping. Let's see. Let's see if it can ping the gateway itself. And there's a successful ping. My ping is working. As you can see, it's a success. So this node is able to reach the gateway through the network configuration that we did on the gateway and also on this guy. So now what do we do for node 2 to be able to get access to the gateway, like access to the internet through the node 1? Do you think we should like do the same thing? Obviously, we should do the same thing, but there should be something else we should do. And that is to make sure that this is we can obviously do just what we did on the node 1 on node 2, but that's not enough. What you're doing is just basically making this node connected to the gateway directly. And that's not what we're trying to achieve, because what we're trying to achieve is a daisy chain topology. So what we're meant to do here is enable, because the main thing is packet forwarding. So what we're going to do here is enable packet forwarding on node 1. Enabling packets forwarding on node 1 enables node 2 to connect directly to node 1 instead of the gateway. So this way, node 2 gets his internet access through node 1, as node 1 gets his internet access through the gateway. The gateway gets its internet access directly from his network adapter that is connected to the internet. So this way, we get a daisy chain. So what do we do on node 1? So we go back to node 1. This is our guy here, node 1. And then we enable packet forwarding. So just like you did before, because I'm not going to do that again, just like you did before, you just copy the system configurations file again, enable, go into it, sudo into it, uncomment the hashtag so that you enable the packet forwarding. After that, you also create a firewall rule just like you did in the gateway. So after following all these steps and also creating the batch script that runs every single time the interface goes to routable states, after you do all this and restarts, the node 1 should act as a router for node 2. So let us check to see if the configuration is right here. And to actually check that, you just cut the firewall to see. We have it there. We should also cut this to see. And that's there. So that means this node 1 is actually a router, is also acting as a router for the node 2. So all that's left is to go to node 2 and do the same thing that we did for node 1. And that's it. So you go to the systemd file, as you can see, if we do this here, you should do the same and save it, which put all your save it. And to save it, Vim, you also know as this is to save with Vim. So I'm not doing that because we did that before. So save with Vim, and after you save with Vim, sudo vim slash oh, that's a mistake there. Just see that. So I made a mistake here. So this guy should be directly connected to 3, which is the other guy, which is node 1, because it should be directly connected to node 1. And after doing that, you should save. Yeah, I will save here. And that saves it. So let's see. We should check that up here. 99.4. I have a ping to the gateway. Dropping things here when this works. As you can see, it can ping. And node 2 works. So right now we are able to we've accomplished our goal of creating a daisy chain topology. Again, I'll put the commands below for you guys to follow to have a straightforward configuration. And that's it, guys.